Welcome to Wonder Woman Wednesday. I am Jared, and today I am doing a listener suggested topic from Twitter user I Can Be Brave. If you're watching that, it's shout out to you, my friend. And today we are discussing the divine family of Wonder Woman. In other words, like the gods and the roles that they play essentially in her life, and that's kind of important there. So I basically summarized like five Olympians. Four is like a group of people, but it's still there that I think play a significant role in Diana's life and kind of have like a very interesting like relationship, if you will. So let's get started with that. So first, we're going to start with Zeus, because if you're going by the Zeus origin, he kind of plays an important role because he's the reason why she's alive. And the thing about this is Zeus, to me, has always been like a complicated character. And DC has kind of played him like well and then not so well. In other words, by Tom King. And when he's written well, he's like, actually, Blood of Zeus got him like really well. We're like, yeah, he's not exactly the most morally righteous person, but he's not evil. And that's the point where I think like a lot of portrayals go wrong, is that they try and portray him too much as an evil guy. And ultimately he does love his daughter, if you're going by the clay origin again. And he does like help her occasionally. So it's kind of interesting to see like the role that Zeus plays with Wonder Woman. Then you go to Hera. So Hera is a very interesting one, particularly with the Zeus origin, because she's the one that turns the Amazons to snakes and Hippolyta to stone. And she's kind of the vengeful. She's portrayed as vengeful, cheated on wife, if you will. And it's like, even when Zeus was like in the Rucka run, was watching like a certain Amazons like bathe, if you will, which that was something I didn't like about the Rucka run, because I felt that was kind of creepy. But like she like wrecked the island, I think. The way it's portrayed, it looks like she like kicks the island and then it like breaks apart. I'm sure it's more complicated than that, but still. But so there is that, and I go, okay, I can kind of see where this is coming from. But the truth is, and this is something I liked about the Azarella run, Hera slowly like went away from being like a direct like I hate Diana to more of like, well, actually, you know, it's kind of funny. She never really hated Diana. She went to punish Hippolyta because Hippolyta is the one that slept with Zeus. Diana didn't, her sin, if you will, is existing. So there is that. Then you have Strife. Strife is the one that like was the most like humorous one, if you will. I'll add Hippolytus. We'll do Strife and Apollo, because those two were very much antagonists for Diana in Superman, Wonder Woman, and in the Wonder Woman run. Like, he's the one that like had some choice words about Diana's dating life, and Clark threw him through a volcano. And then Strife is the one that was like causing them to fight like for no reason. And then Diana like figured it out and went to go confront her, which was kind of cool. I really enjoyed that. It led to one of my favorite Superman moments of all time, but there's that. Then you have Lennox and her siblings, if we're going by the Zeus origin. So Lennox is kind of an interesting character because he's kind of like a soldier, but so he's the son of Zeus. And the funny part about it, he's basically like John Constantine, which, okay, it's like he wasn't my favorite character of the Azarella run, but there were a few of them that I kind of enjoyed, like Milan, who was like the more like, he was like a blind guy that was like more of a fighter, and I kind of enjoyed that type of like story, if you will. I think that they did that pretty well. That's the one thing I will give about the Azarella run. It portrayed the gods, I think, pretty interestingly at the very least. I don't like a lot of the character designs, like with Hephaestus being a candle or Athena being an owl woman, but still, it's like a few of them I think were actually really cool. Like, I love Zeus with the dreadlocks. That was badass. Then we have, for my fifth, Hephaestus. Yes, he's the cool one. He's not the way he was in the Tom King run. He was always an ally of Diana. In fact, he made the suits that Diana and Clark wore when they confronted Zod and Feora. And he even lent them his invisible chariot, which I think was pretty cool. And then he made a lot of like Wonder Woman's armor and weapons. And he's always been like, I feel like in New 52 Wonder Woman, they used him as kind of a sounding board for Diana. And I really liked how Diana had that sounding board, if you will, kind of like that therapist that was like going to be there, so she could have someone to talk to, and like we could get more into like Diana's psyche, what's she thinking about certain things. So that's my discussion of Wonder Woman and her divine family. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And by the way, shout out to I Can Be Brave. I'll put her Twitter profile in the description below. If you guys like this, consider commenting and subscribing and becoming a member, because if you become a member, you get these a day early. And you get access to all my members-only live streams, which we're going to be picking back up with those. And, yeah, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Steve Trevor is Steve Never. He belongs 24 feet in the ground. Zeus and Maximat for life. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.